Hello, good afternoon to you. Monday the 23rd of May. Here we are for our weekly musings. Couple of moments early as just today, but I thought I would just jump on and get started today. I am using the cards from Kyle Gray, Angels and Ancestors. Very, very beautiful cards with artwork by Moses. And the cards have a clear message this week, a real message of taking charge of your life. No more victim mentality, no more play acting at it, no more treating this like a dress rehearsal. This is life. It's time for you to take charge of it. It's time for you to step up to the plate, to apply the lessons that you've learned over the last few weeks and months, and to step into your own power in order to live the life that you want to lead. So the eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed that the blog post is already up and live on the website and has been published on Facebook, Twitter, and I think on LinkedIn as well. So you can catch the blog of this particular video there if you wish, and the video here will be up on be live on Facebook now obviously, and will be on YouTube later on today as well. This will also be turned into a podcast, so for those listening on SoundCloud, it's here, and you can see an image of the cards in the thumbnail for the pod. So, taking charge of your life, what does that mean? Well, we're in the second half of Mercury retrograde, which means we're starting to act upon the things that have maybe been coming up for us. We're also wrapping up the energy of the recent eclipses, and as the month draws to an end this week and into early next week, we'll be really closing off that energy period. We'll be really taking stock of everything we've learned and putting the final touches to it this week and really starting to move forward. So this is the time. This is the time for you to move forward. It's not a time to still be procrastinating or holding back, because otherwise you'll feel a real conflict of interest. You'll feel pushed to do things, but then at the same time, if you're holding yourself back, you'll find that it's very difficult for you, and you might find yourself quite stressed or burned out. You may also find that you are still quite tired due to the cosmic energy, and that you're perhaps feeling a little bit foggy in the brain. I know I am from time to time, and I also know that I have been really busy and pushing myself quite a lot, so that I notice when I start to get very stressy that's when it's a sign that I've been doing too much. So it's about being self-aware and tuning into your body as well. But let's have a look at the cards. I actually have drawn 5 cards this week instead of 3. For some reason 3 just didn't feel right, and I sat with the cards for a while this morning looking at them and thinking, there's more to this. There has to be more to this, and another 2 cards needed to come out. So today we've got 5. So hopefully they'll resonate with you. They're all quite linked as always. So again, I never know why I'm surprised, but here we are. The first one that's come up is the Lady card. So this would be like the traditional Empress card in a traditional tarot. So it's primarily green in colour, really reflective of nature. We've got apples, abundance. We've got the apple cut in half to reflect the 5-pointed pentagram that's on the inside of any apples that you cut acrossways in half, to remind you of the magic, to remind you of the miracles of nature, to remind you of, you know, earth, air, fire, water and spirit all becoming one, which is the symbol of the pentagram. So we've got that going on. We've got the divine feminine energy, that receptive energy, that being totally in tune with the rhythms of earth, of Mother Nature, that maternal vibe, taking care of you, taking care of other people, all that going on with this card. But she's really attuned to nature. She's reminding you that it's time now to reap what you've sown over these last few weeks and months. If you've been following these musings, or you've been listening to the pods or reading the blog, you'll know that over the last few weeks it's been very much about doing your work, about facing things that need to be faced, clearing clutter, you know, starting to put plans in place for your life as we move forward. And she's really just telling you now's the time to reap what you've sown. So all the hard work you've been putting in over the last few weeks and months, it's time that it now pays off. Okay. You've been learning what you need to release, what you need to let go of. So now's the time, let it go if you haven't already. Let things go and open up the door for new abundance to come your way. Step out into nature. Breathe in the fresh air. Okay. Be grateful for the abundance all around you. It's really easy at the minute to fall into a lack mentality, okay, and victimhood. There is nothing but negativity and fear and constant words like cost of living increase and, you know, war and, you know, pandemics and all the negativity and heavy energy out there. Turn that off, okay? Turn it off. Get outside. Get into nature, reconnect with the beauty of nature, look at the abundance of nature all around us. There's magic and beauty everywhere if you choose to see it. You are a child of the earth. This card reminds you that you are the child of earth. You're in charge of your own life. You can grow what you want. Okay? And that includes growing your thoughts, growing your feelings, growing your abundance. You know, it's not just physical growth, but yes, you can plant things, you can grow things, you can learn, you can see the magic and the beauty. I remember being at school and really being fascinated about the fact that you could put a little seed into the earth and then this little shoot would appear and then it would grow into something. And I think we lose that magic as we get older. We get disconnected from it. We go to the shop and we just buy things. You know, maybe it's about time to get back into nature. Maybe, you know, I know various people I've been speaking to have started with allotments or started growing vegetables in their own gardens, starting to get back in touch with nature. And it's a lovely thing to do. So it might be something that is speaking to you. You're in charge of your life. If you can choose to see the magic and the miracles all around you, and you can turn that fear and lack mentality on its head by doing so. The next card that came up then was the Elder card, okay, which depicts an Aboriginal, and it says move beyond ancestral patterns. Okay, the Aborigine people are the oldest Indigenous people still living in the world, really in tune with nature, really in tune with their traditions and how they live their lives, totally connected. So it reminds us about that connection again. So it's following on from that Lady card, from the Empress vibe, about Mother Nature, about following on, being in tune with nature, making sure that you're following your traditions and your path, but at the same time not being hindered by them. Okay, you can move beyond the family expectations and stories, the things that are passed down that don't sit in alignment with you. Okay, and you're also more than the sum of your genes, your genetic structure. You know, you can. Research has been done recently and is being done all the time in the energetic fields and epigenetics, and it's about understanding that we can shift and change our DNA through meditation, through healing work, through practice, through lots of different means. We can actually change how our predisposition to certain ailments or diseases or things. So there's a lot of work being done in these fields, and it's not maybe that particularly widely known, but the more that you start to work with energy medicine and the more you start to work with love, with light, with that vibration of joy, the more you can shift and change your DNA and your structures in your body. And so you don't have to fall prey to the stories that pass down from generation to generation. You know, by working on yourself as well, you start to heal and move forward in life, and you turn around and face that ancestral trauma and stop it so that it doesn't pass to the next generation. So you're releasing ancestral pain, you're releasing ancestral trauma, and you know, you don't have to carry what's not yours to carry. So notice, are there certain repeating patterns? Are there things that you're carrying that aren't yours, that you don't think are yours, that come from ancestral lines? Are there stories that you're carrying in your family, stories that pass down in your family about, well, oh, we all have heart disease in our family. Okay. So, do you have to have it? I don't think so. Okay, that's one that's passed down in my family. My mum and dad both had heart conditions, and it's something that passes, and it's something that's in your mind, but you don't have to accept that. You can do the work on yourself, you can do healing work, you can work with energy medicine to turn that around. So this is what this card's all about. It's about connecting into the wisdom all around you, learning from the wisdom of your ancestors, but not taking on the limiting beliefs and the things that have been passed down that don't serve. Okay, there'll be lots that does serve very well, and we should learn from our ancestors, and we should learn not to repeat the mistakes that they made. But it's also to trust that you're in charge of your life and that you control how it unfolds. You shape your reality, so you don't have to succumb to the ailments, conditions, limiting beliefs, the stories that are part of your family makeup. You don't have to succumb to those if you don't want to. Okay, so look deeply within. The next card that has come up then today is the High Priest card. And again, this is traditionally the keeper of wisdom. It says intend and create. And it's quite Egyptian in flavour. Looks like an Egyptian sort of priest. There's an angel wing and an eagle, or I think it is an eagle of some description, bird of prey of some description, going on the card. Very masculine energy here again, but very much about, you know, the high priest traditionally being like sort of the bridge between the heaven and earth, being the intermediary, being the person who passes the wisdom down, the embodiment of divine masculinity and occult knowledge. But this card reminds you that you are also that bridge. You do not need an intermediary to access divine wisdom because it's already within you. You have the power within you to create the life that you want to lead. And it's time to remember who you are, trying to step up and apply that wisdom. Stop giving your power away to other people. Use the wisdom you've gained, use the insights, use your unique perspective that only you have. But it also reminds you that you can also seek knowledge. So there's a lot of knowledge out there. There are a lot of fantastic spiritual teachers, lots of different books you can read, courses you can do, lots of different things that can help you expand your knowledge, because none of us know everything and we all have to lean on our teachers. I know I have some fantastic teachers, and in turn I try and teach the best of what I know to my students whenever they come to me for Reiki or shamanic practice or crystals or tarot. Those would be the four main things. But it's time for you to maybe to start learning about those esoteric principles and about energy medicine and the fact that there's so much more to life than what we're led to believe. And you can start tapping into that without taking it to a place of fear, without taking it to conspiracy theories and a fear place, coming at it from a place of joy and abundance and wonder, having a childlike curiosity about the absolute fantastic thing that is this life, that this earth walk that we're on. It's time to shine your light. It's time for deep spiritual wisdom to come to the fore, and that's what this is all about you shaping your reality by the thoughts you think, by the actions you take, and by the beliefs you have. Because your perspective shapes the world. If you surround yourself with fear and negativity and conspiracies, then that's all you'll see. Okay? But if you lean into your soul, lean into the true depth of your character and the true wisdom of who you are and shine your light, then that's what you see. And you see the abundance, and you find reasons to be grateful. And that's the true nature of reality. And that will transform your life if you let it. Everything's energy. Everything. You can tap into your natural abilities, rub your hands together, feel the energy between your hands, create those little energy balls, place your hands on your heart, read, learn, meditate, listen to that small, still voice inside yourself, follow your intuition, discover things that make you light up from the inside. For me, it was crystals. That's where I started, with crystals, and then Reiki. And then Reiki opened the door to shamanism. And then the tarot cards were always there in the background, but they came back and they really helped me realize that there was such a wealth of knowledge to be had, because they're like a key to unlock the doors of your intuitive development. Fantastic things that you can learn, but that might not be for you. Something else might be for you. It may be that maybe getting really into gardening and growing plants and understanding the rhythms of the earth and the nature of the moon and the sun and how that all hangs together and works with the energy of the soil. That might be your thing. Maybe baking is your thing, and getting your hands into the flour and creating beautiful things for people to eat is your thing. There's something for everybody out there, And that's what this card's about you intending what it is you want and then going after it, okay, and creating the life that you need. And as I say, I've pulled an extra couple of cards, so there's two more. The Direction Guardian card, okay? So this Direction card is all about choosing your path, okay? Choosing your path. Tune into your heart. What makes your soul sing? What makes your heart sing? What do you love to do? And it's amazing how many times I ask this question and people go, oh, I don't know. I don't know what I love to do. And that's a sure sign that you're living your life for other people, not for yourself. And I promise you, you will remember what it is you love to do if you take the time to consider it. You know, even look back to what did you want to be when you were a kid? What lit you up when you were a wee child? What did you say you wanted to be when you grew up? What made you laugh? What still makes you laugh? Okay? And if you're not laughing and you're not enjoying life, then when did you stop? How can we revisit that? How can we turn that round so that you find the joy in life again? So the Direction Guardian is all about choosing your path. He asks you to make decisions by following your bliss, i.e. what makes your heart sing, then go do it. Okay? Open your heart, do the things that you know light you up. All right? Too often we find ourselves completely exhausted and stressed and burned out and just not able to even focus, and that's a real sign, a sure sign that you're living your life for other people and that you're doing too much to fuel other people's fires without stoking up your own embers. Okay, so don't be burning yourself out by giving all of yourself to other people. You need to hold some stuff back for you. Okay, other people's paths are not yours. Trying to second guess what's going on with people, trying to control other people, trying to find answers when there are none to be found. It's all exhausting, okay? You live your life for you. By all means, help other people, but not at your expense, okay? Because you cannot serve, cannot give from an empty vessel. I'm sure you've heard me say that before. If you're not sure what your bliss is, you're not sure what decisions to make, if you have options in front of you and you're not sure which one to take, then definitely just pause, place your hands on your heart, take a breath, focus on that small pause on the turn of your breath. It's a little point of stillness in your day. And allow yourself to become still. And then think about the options that are in front of you. And as you think about them, notice what your body does. Does it expand and relax, and does it feel like it's lighting up, or does it contract? If it contracts and feels awful, then that's maybe not the right choice for you. Okay? Certain element of nervousness and fear is good as well, in that, you know, that pushes you out the comfort zone a little bit, but we're talking about sort of what lights you up here, what makes you happy. Think about that and push forward with it. Give yourself permission to daydream, to feel into all the different options. You drive your life. And the thing about it is, when you start doing the things that really make you happy, when you start to do the things that light you up, it naturally actually increases your energy. It increases things to the point that you have more energy for other people, and you then have more energy to give to other people because you're doing what keeps your fire lit. You're fueling your fire in the background, and that gives you more energy. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay. And the last card that's come up today is the Lord card. Okay, the Lord card. So this is actually the counterpart of the Lady card that came up at the start. So this is actually, it's nicely wrapped today, and that appeals to me. That actually we had the Lady card at the start, now we've got the Lord card at the end, like a little bookmarking each end. Take charge with authority, it says, and it depicts a gentleman with, you know, he's holding, I think it's the Egyptian Ankh sort of symbol. He's got antler horns on his head. There's ram's heads behind him. He's got a brooch with a Celtic knot on it. Very, very lovely. Lovely card, and again, very natural energy about it. This Lord card would be the Emperor in a traditional tarot deck, and it's not about it's about being assertive, not aggressive. Okay, it's masculine energy, yang energy, about action and taking action and moving forward, but not in a chauvinistic or aggressive way, in a divinely masculine way where it's balanced, where you are being assertive, not aggressive, and there's a difference. It's not about walking over people. It's not about pushing your own agenda to the exclusion of all others, but it is about having boundaries and about taking action and doing what's right for you. Okay, knowing when to say yes, when to say no. Reminds you that you're in charge again of your life and in charge of your emotions, your actions, your thoughts, your beliefs. You shape your life your way. All about perspective. The thing about this is, nobody can have power over you unless you give it to them. So think about that. Nobody can have power over you unless you give it to them. So who is in charge of your life? And if it's not you, then maybe it's time for change. So hopefully this resonates with you this week, and you can take something from the reading. I know I certainly can. Lately I have just been super busy between various roles and responsibilities. And I know, obviously trying to sort of house move in the background as well, you probably know now. And I know it's time for me to have a few days perhaps of self-care and a few better boundaries perhaps. So for me that means carefully considering what I say yes to and how I spent my time. And I think for me as well, I have to remember to ask myself why I'm doing things. What's the purpose? What's the goal? Why am I doing this? And if you can't answer those questions, then there's something not right there. And you find that you're maybe doing it for other people rather than actually it serving your bliss and serving your life purpose in any way. So be self-aware and ask the question that helps you take charge and keep track of your life. So leave me a wee comment, let me know if you want any more information about any of the services or if I can help you in any way. There's lots available out there. There's the Intuitive Life Design Program, which is a group program. There's coaching to help you live your life on purpose. There's the Mystical Moon Days, which is all about intuitive development, mainly focused on tarot cards, but there's a little bit more in there too. And obviously there's the Reiki training and classes and shamanic classes, which will be starting again in September. So there's a lot there for you, and I would love to help you if you want me to. So get in touch. Just gonna have a quick look at the comments here. Nikki, thank you very much, Nikki. She says, you're so calming, I need to see you soon. Yes, definitely come and see me. Diary is a bit manic at the moment just because of the house move, and June is kind of blocked out. But as soon as I get settled into the new place, Nikki, get in touch with me anyway and we'll arrange something, even if we connect over a Zoom call initially. Happy to have a chat. And Kay, yes, you need to stoke your embers. Yes, you're most welcome. It's important that we all stoke our embers up and that we light our own fires, because if we let our fires go out, then we can't serve ourselves or other people. So hopefully this has resonated with you. Hopefully you have found something from it. Maybe challenge yourself a little bit and sort of decide what it is you're going to take action on this week. What are you going to stop putting off? What are you actually going to do? And are you going to look at your boundaries a little bit more and take charge of the life that you came here to lead? I'll leave that with you, and I'll speak to you again next week.